Hi, I'm Mike. Calving can be a time where it's easy to get focused on just the calf, and sometimes it's easy to forget that mom is a top priority as well. Today we're going to take drastic measures to ensure that both a calf and her mom survive on our Wyoming Life. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us once again on our Wyoming Life. The purpose of these videos is actually to take a look at the inner workings of a Wyoming ranch. And our ranch isn't really special. Thousands and millions of ranchers and farmers would be happy to show you how their operation works. We're just lucky enough to be able to do that. Please subscribe and explore the ranch life with us every day. And it's a chance not only to learn about ranching and farming, but also a chance to learn about yourself as it all ties together, from the land to the animals to the family itself. A family that is growing in lots of ways. We now have over 82,000 subscribers that I'm proud to call part of our community and our family. If you'd like to learn more, not only subscribe, but find us on Facebook and on Instagram, and even on iTunes in the form of a weekly podcast, and continue to escape the ordinary. Another portion of our family that is growing is right here in the pasture. Calves are being born at the average of about 5 to 7 per day. In fact, yesterday I had 12 with a very nice surprise that we'll get to meet a little bit later. Calving is when you take it down to the basics and decomplexify it, and I know that's not a real word, but I kind of like it, is simple. A calf is born, he or she gets up on its feet, takes its first steps. Those steps lead to mom's udder and the first drinks of life-sustaining milk. If all of those steps happen in that order, then chances are much higher that a calf will not have any issues with life. It'll continue on the ranch until it's time for them to leave, to head to auction, then to a feedlot, and eventually your plate. It's when one of those steps are interrupted for some reason that problems start to happen. First, a calf has to be born, but they can get stuck. They can get turned wrong or even backwards. Luckily, most of the time, births happen without a hitch. Angus cattle are generally good birthers. Only 2 to maybe 3% of births have trouble with this stage, sometimes even less. After the birth stage, we're left with a calf on the ground. Mom will usually start cleaning off the calf right away, and within minutes, the calf will start to try to stand. This is where I like to interject myself into the equation. Calves at this stage are much easier to tag and identify. We can get a look at them, make sure they have the right number of legs and a tail, and make sure that all their other parts are present, and what is supposed to be on the inside is on the inside, and what's on the outside is on the outside. Cold or wet weather is the biggest damper to this stage, as moms can sometimes have trouble cleaning off or drying their calf and warming them up enough to actually get them to stand up. These calves will continue to lay on the ground, getting colder and colder, and eventually becoming hypothermic, or what we call freezing down. Those calves in that situation get a trip to the shop or the barn to warm up, either in a warmer or sometimes in a bath, depending on how cold they are. But in a normal birth, the calf will stand and it'll start to walk. And instincts will lead it directly, as if by magic, to mom's bag and her udders. As a cow midwife, which is almost the most accurate description of my job, the cow's bag are usually the biggest indication of an impending birth. A week or maybe a few days before a cow gives birth, her bag will start to fill in. It'll appear more solid. The udders themselves will expand and hang lower, ready for that new calf to take its first drink. A special milk that moms produce at the beginning of lactation is called colostrum. Bovine colostrum is produced the first few days after giving birth, before true milk appears. It contains proteins, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, and minerals, along with specific proteins called antibodies that fight disease-causing agents such as bacteria and viruses. Needless to say, it's almost imperative that a calf gets this first milk. It's a vaccine for the calves, given by mom, passing along her antibodies and her immunities. and that can make the difference between life and death for that calf. After the first few days of colostrum, true milk arrives, and a calf is on its way to a long and healthy summer on the ranch. Along with the other steps of the calving process, there are things that can go wrong here as well, although they are rare, but they can be deadly. A mom with an infection of her own can pass that infection on to her calf. That calf will have no way to fight that infection and will most likely die without our intervention. This week, we've been dealing with a situation that luckily we were able to learn about before the cow even had her calf. A condition that precludes her from even being a mom this year and possibly for the rest of her life. Number 78 is a 10-year-old Black Angus Hereford mix. She's one of those cows that's always been in the background, but has never been a main player. Today, through fate, she's thrust forward in the herd and becomes almost our sole priority. She'll be having her calf soon, and soon after, we'll have a bottle calf. Number 78 has what can only be described as a raging multi-quadrant case of mastitis. Mastitis most commonly occurs in dairy cows, but of course it can affect all cattle. It develops when bacteria enter the teat canal, causing swelling and of course discomfort for the cow. As she gets closer to calving, it became apparent that something wasn't right, and the choice was made to let her have her calf before beginning treatment. When she did calve, we tagged her calf, but then brought it into the barn. Her calf would never be able to nurse from her, and if she did, she would run the risk of contracting the infection as well. The calf is dried off and given a colostrum supplement, the closest that we can get to the real thing, and a vaccination to help give her the antibodies that she'll be missing from her mom. And once she's situated, then it's time to bring mom in and start her treatment. With the massive amount of swelling induced by recently having the calf, her udders are actually rubbing together and causing obvious irritation for her, even bleeding. Her treatment course will include a steroid anti-inflammatory to hopefully start to reduce swelling and an antibiotic to fight infection. Antibiotics are something that are closely monitored on the ranch. Not every sick cow or calf is going to get antibiotics, and it depends on what is ailing them. Antibiotics only treat bacterial infections. Mastitis is an infection caused by bacteria, so is pink eye or even infected wounds. Penicillin or Xeed is often used in these cases. Antibiotics are not going to help with parasitic or viral infections, so it's important for us to know what is causing the infection, and then we can treat it correctly and safely for the animal without over or useless medicating. She's going to receive her medications via injection, and once we have her in the barn, we can move her into a head gate and we can give her injections there. We try to give injections in what we call the injection triangle of the neck. We can only give 10 cc's of medication in each injection site, so she'll get multiple injections, as these medications are based on her weight, and they are over 30 cc's each, or 1 full ounce. A cow in the head chute is noticeably nervous, and over the next few days she's going to get daily shots, so we want her to be as comfortable as possible. After she has her shots, it's into the corral, where she will wait out the results of her treatment, only a few feet from her calf. Out in the pasture, more calves are being born, and a busy day continues as the number of calves being born today reaches 12, matching our record for the number of calves born in one day, with the help of a set of twins, calved by number 14. As with all twins born on the ranch, we'll help mom out by taking care of one of them for her. Now, she's already chosen which one she's going to take care of. The other one is left lying alone. We'll take it into the shop, and Kenzie helps it out in the calf warmer until it's ready to join the other calf in the barn. Now it's number 54, the orphan twin, and 37 hanging out together in the barn. Both now our responsibility, and neither will be ever returning to their moms. As the medication begins working on number 78, it's easy to realize that even if we do take care of her infection and swelling, she'll never be able to take care of her calf. The infection could possibly return without us knowing until it's too late. And for both her sake and her calves, the decision is made to keep her calf with us and let her concentrate on recovery. Each day for the next 5 days, she'll be brought into the head gate, given her shots, and her udders will be checked for reduction in swelling. There's no chance that milk will move through her system. Her bag is rock hard, and although swelling is reducing, her prognosis doesn't look good. The determination is made with the help of our vet that her milk glands and mammary tissues have probably been destroyed by the infection. Our only course of action is to get her healthy. Then we can either let her live on the ranch free of charge or sell her to an animal feed processor. It's a sad end to a great mom, but as always, a part of the cycle of life here on the ranch. So once she's through with her antibiotics and anti-inflammatories, we'll check her for further infection. Hopefully she'll be cleared up. Then she'll have a withdrawal period before we can sell her. But more than likely, she will be going. This is really one of the parts of the job that I don't like. But at the same time, all I have to do is walk across the barn and see why it's really worth doing. Thanks for coming along today. And I hope that you're able to subscribe and continue with us as we explore the ranch life and escape the ordinary. Head on over to our website, ourwylife.com. You can find links to all our social media there, along with a lot more, including t-shirts, webcams, and an opportunity to sign up for our weekly newsletter. Look for more new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And until I see you again, have a great week. And thanks for joining us in our Wyoming Life. How you guys doing?
You okay?